Welcome back to another episode of the Momentum Shift podcast. It has been a while, but we're about to start up again. In this episode, I'm Irish and my co-host Jant is here. And without further ado, let's get into our first order of business, which is our NBA Pick'em series. So, as I said, it has been a while, and the last Pick'em we did was on the 26th of February. Only three games were we only had different predictions on three games. Jazz Heat where the Heat won, so I got this game. Hornets Warriors where the Warriors won, so I got this game. And Suns Bulls where the Suns won, where I also got this game. So 3-0 clean sweep. I win this day. Let's quickly change that to 4. And let's get into our next game. So what do you have?
I got the Sixers. I think the Sixers is a better team even without Embiid. So,
Okay. Pistons Grizzlies.
I got the Grizzlies because I don't
Okay.
really see anything with the Pistons.
Wait, hold on. Let me just see who's okay. Yeah. Okay, and then Nets Hornets, you both have the Nets. I'm 99% sure.
Yeah, Lamelo's not even there. There's like
Even
no.
if he was there, it's not like it would have made a
Yeah,
difference.
probably
Pelicans versus Magic. I'm gonna go with the Pelicans. They just seem
same.
like a better team with all that, especially after the Magic's trade deadline moves. Heat versus Warriors. I'm actually gonna go with the Heat. I don't know,
Same.
just feeling that they're gonna win.
I think they're a better team. Like the Warriors have Curry, but their whole team just isn't as balanced. I guess.
I'm gonna have to go with the Spurs against the Hawks. Maybe it's a bit of a bias for the favorite team, but yeah, I just have to go with the Spurs.
Uh, I'm gonna take the Spurs as well because John Collins is out.
Okay, Clippers versus Nuggets. I'm gonna go with the Clippers.
I'm also gonna take the Clippers.
Okay, so tomorrow's game is only one thing that'll decide it. That's Pistons versus Grizzlies. So let's move into our next section. We're gonna be doing a quiz, this playoff quiz thing today. So do you want to start?
Sure.
All right. So
Let's put in the big
Raptors
names.
just won. Lakers. That's a lot. And then if I put James, I should get. Okay, that's wonderful.
Put Warriors. Just put it on the major franchises.
Okay, let's.
How many
Uh,
years is go down? Put Bulls.
Still 1980. So and then Jordan.
Yeah, we already have 74. This is a good start.
Okay, so we've sort of gone through all the main things. 2016 was the Cavs. 2013 was the Heat. 11 was the Mavericks.
Pistons.
2004 was the Pistons. 95, 94 was the Rockets. Hakeem.
Not Elijah one. Nice.
Okay.
Put Kobe in.
Okay, Detroit Pistons. Who was that guy who they had? Thomas.
Put Chauncey.
Uh,
Actually, I don't know if Chauncey was the other day.
it wasn't. I think I'll have to put Billups as well. Yeah. Who was the other guy in the backcourt? Joe Dumars. If he won the Finals MVP. Lakers. Let's go with Johnson again. Bird. 19.
Um,
Who won the title in 1983?
1983 was the
76ers got it. Yeah.
76ers. Yeah. Um,
Who was their Finals
who,
MVP?
their finals MVP was Malone.
I think Karl Malone. Yeah, we also got Karl Malone. I think so. We've got all the
Put
champions.
Durant. Put Durant.
Durant, Leonard.
Right.
2015 was
I,
Iguodala.
I had to get that.
No,
Nowitzki.
Nowitzki. I don't know how to spell this. I got it. Garnett,
That's
Pierce,
Pierce. Yeah. Spurs
Parker,
was yeah,
Wade,
O'Neal.
O'Neal.
Not AL. Not EAL.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Uh, Lakers. Oh, that's gonna be a nightmare. Okay, I got it. Worthy, I
1988.
think.
Yeah, it was windy.
Celtics. What was the other guy on the Celtics? Mikhail Harris. In the 1981 Celtics, who did that?
Was that Moses Malone? I don't remember.
1981 Celtics, the
Oh,
champion
oh,
Celtics.
I can't remember. Let me think about it. Let's come back to it. Maybe it's Cedric Maxwell. Try Maxwell.
Oh, good job. Okay, so we've got this, and then Curry would be there. Not Curry, was it Thompson? Okay. Um, 2000, and then
2001. Was it Allen Iverson?
who?
Try Allen Iverson.
Okay. Oh yeah, he wasn't the. In 1999, who was it? It wasn't Robinson. It can't have been Duncan. I think it was someone else who did good in the playoffs.
Spreewell, maybe? Actually, I don't know. That can't be him.
No, I doubt that. Okay, let's move on. We'll come back to this rebounds leader. That's gonna be somewhat tough. Al Gasol,
Oh, Draymond
Ibaka.
Green, for sure.
Yeah, nice. 2017. That was maybe Kevin Love.
Thompson or Love. Yeah.
Assist leader Irving? No way. No.
2016. Wait, what?
2016. So it should have been someone on the Cavs or the Warriors. I already said
Who was
Iguodala.
in the conference finals? Who was in the conference finals?
No, that wasn't Chris Paul. Um, I
But
think in the
oh,
East,
it was Thunder. Thunder. Could be Westbrook.
yeah, it was.
That was a year when the Thunder broke through.
Yeah, Thunder
Go
was
through
super
winning.
good. 2014 rebounds leader Chris Bosh. No,
I have no
Ibaka.
idea.
No,
Who made it in 2014? Who are the
was it
who
like
are the
Boris Diaw
or
or something? No, 2014 was Spurs over
Thiago
Heat.
Splitter? Thiago Splitter, maybe? No.
No, that would have been a great guess though. Um, maybe like a Heat center. Like what was that guy's name? Anderson? No,
Let's come back to it.
Kendrick Perkins? No,
Oh,
no.
for sure put Rondo in for assist.
Yeah, nice.
In
Okay,
2011, assist leader. Who's in the finals? Mavericks. Jason Terry. No, it can't be him.
Chandler.
Oh, it's Kid, right? This Kid was in the Mavericks, right?
Yeah, Jason Kidd was there. 2009. James? No, I already said that. 2009. Who led the thing in rebound?
Orlando Howard.
Good one. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
Dwight Howard got
14.
2014 as well. Nice. Um,
Was he on the
2000.
Rockets at that time? Yeah.
Yeah, 2000. The Rockets got in the first round or the second round. So first round actually. So wow, he must have gotten so many
No,
rebounds.
no, no, no. The Warriors made the Rockets made the con. No, they didn't. Yeah, they
Not in
got on the first round.
2014.
Yeah,
That was in 2015.
you're right. Actually, that's
Oh, that must
crazy.
have been an insane series then.
How's
Okay,
it Forrest
Dirk.
Ben Wallace?
Okay, yeah. Rebound leader in 2001. There have been like
Uh,
Patrick Ewing.
76ers. It wasn't the 76ers. Mutombo? Oh, I think it's TOMMUTOM. No, no, you, no, you. Yeah.
Nice.
Sis? Who's 2006?
2006 and 5, we have to go through that. Like, I need Rondo, so
Wait, who's on the Mavericks in 2006? No, doesn't make sense. I don't know. Come
and
back to
Dennis
it.
Rodman on a bunch of those.
Oh, you know him.
There's Scottie Pippen.
93. 93 is Charles Barkley,
Long years of
probably.
that.
Try Barkley.
Oh yeah, Charles Barkley would be a great answer. Oh, only one. Okay. Who was the 1999 points leader?
99 points later.
Oh. Who did the Spurs beat that year? Maybe it was one of them.
Are you sure it's not Latrell Sprewell?
No, I tried that. Um, Okay, we got the 90s and assists. Who would have led those both teams in assists? Like, could have been
Oh,
Joe.
John Stockton made the playoffs like 20 times.
Yeah, it had to be him. 2000. Who led who in 2000? Was it like Fisher? No.
I don't know. It was on the Lakers.
Who else? Like Gary Payton? I already put him. Um, we're running out of options now. Like I can't even think of 1982. Who would have led them in assists? The only person.
Wait. Is this for rebounds? 1988.
Yeah, we
Um,
have to do
I don't know.
1988 rebounds.
I, I'm kind of. Oh, 92 is Horace Grant, I think.
Nice, and I got Lambier. Okay, so we've basically got all of the rebounds except for these two down here.
Wait, what about assists? Who was in 1995, 90, or 82?
Maybe like Kenny Smith or something like that, or
Wait, who made the finals in 95? Magic, right?
Rockets.
Oh, no.
Penny Hardaway?
Magic versus. Oh, Anthony Hardaway, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Nice.
2005 and 2006. We should be able to get that.
I, I don't think. I feel like it's gonna be such like a big name we just forgot about. It was good that time.
Who made them and who made the final 2005 and 6? So one time was Parker, but I already put Parker.
No, it wasn't Parker. Oh, yeah, it was Parker, yeah. Who played the Heat? The Mavericks did. And the Spurs played the Pistons, right?
I already put Fisher. Who was the point guard on those Heat teams? I already put Paul. Was it like any other good point guards then? Okay, let's move on. Rebounds in 1982 and 80.
Oh, try Maurice Cheeks for assist. Cheeks.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, I don't think I can get 200 though. All right.
Let's see. Let's check it out.
Oh, Westbrook.
Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Okay, we should have had that.
Steve Nash. Oh, I forgot about him.
That was so obvious. I don't think we would have had Mark Jackson though.
No, Steve Nash didn't make the finals. That was like, I forgot like the conference finals would have still gotten you a lot of
Yeah, but he
stuff.
still, yeah, he still would have gotten that. Considering Dwight Howard, I think got out in the first round and still got up there. That's interesting.
Wait, what percent? Do we get 98%?
I let's see, 97.
Oh, that's a lot better than the average score at least. I think
Not
we
bad.
did pretty good though. For,
Like, I think Sprewell we can give ourselves somewhat credit for because I think you said that. I just didn't hear it.
yeah,
Caldwell Jones, we wouldn't have gotten that.
I wouldn't have got
Mark
that. Yeah.
Jackson, we wouldn't have gotten that. I think Steve Nash, we may
Who
have
did
gotten
Mark Jackson play for at that time?
the Warriors.
Oh,
I don't know. We'll check it out
all
later.
right. Do you want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so do you want to talk about the Nets and their recent acquisitions?
Yeah. So, the Nets just picked up LaMarcus Aldridge, and I thought that was a pretty great pickup because to me, like his experience can help. Like even if he's not the same player he used to be, like just the experience he brings to the roster that's already really talented is great. But at the same time, I feel like they have to know like their place, I guess, on the team, and they have to understand that um Kevin Durant and James Harden and Kyrie are kind of the main guys, I guess. What do you think about it?
I think they're just getting more and more depth as time goes on, but they like I don't think if they need scoring as much because they've got probably three of the best scorers on there are. So it like at what point do you not need scoring? You need to address other needs like defense.
Yeah, I mean, um, they already have like Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan, they picked up Blake Griffin. They have a Nicholas Claxton. Like I feel like also like at some point there's gonna be like so much depth that people won't be getting playing time anymore. Like obviously Nicholas Claxton isn't as good
Aren't
as
great defenders like
yeah. Like even DeAndre Jordan, like he's not the same defender he used to be, and I feel like they should have addressed their defense more than just becoming more talented because it can help them, but it's not really gonna help them that much because they're just picking up like big names at this point to try to make a voice rather than necessarily go for get what they need to get. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't understand who they could have gotten because anyone else who can play defense and then also anyone who can play defense and also isn't a liability on offense or does has one fatal flaw to their game, they're worth a lot. So I don't I don't know who they would get. Like take someone like Clint Capella for example. He'd still be worth quite a bit. Or even Clint Capella's a bad example because he's still a pretty good player. Even if you take someone who's just like an above average defender and then average at everything else. First of all, I
No,
don't know
but
if
I don't know
wants
why
to be
they.
playing in the playoffs. Second, he would take too much to get.
I think they should have kept Jared Allen. Like I feel like that was a big mistake because like obviously they needed to pick up James Harden, but if they were able to trade somebody else, like Jared Allen would have been the perfect fit with this team because he does what he needs to do in offense. He's a really good defender. He's a good rebounder. Like he knows his place. Like you know what I mean? He's like the perfect player to put around a big three because he's able to play the defense that they need him to play. And he's also really young, so he could still improve. And they kind of just traded him away to the Cavs.
So what do you think about the Lakers getting Andre Drummond?
Um, I think it's a pretty good pickup. Although um, at the same time, uh, they already have Marcus Gasol and Montrezl Harrell. So I don't know how the minutes are going to be split. Maybe Marcus Gasol plays power forward or Montrezl Harrell plays power forward. But especially with Anthony Davis being out, it it's going to help them a little bit with their rebounding, and he's just a good player, I guess, in general, getting playing a little bit of defense as well. And um, I think it's also good that they picked him up because they like took him away from other contenders that might have wanted him. So like even though he might not make that big of an impact on the team, at least they're taking him away from another team that would have wanted him, like the Clippers or the Celtics or another team like that. What do you think about the Andre
Can you
Drummond
repeat
pickup?
that, please?
What'd you say?
Can you repeat that, please?
Oh no, I was just saying that like it was a good thing that they picked him up also because like they took away from other contenders that might have wanted him, like the Clippers, because they're like in contention for Andre Drummond, and if they picked up Andre Drummond, it would have hurt the Lakers. So even though they have multiple centers, he's going to make a good impact on their team because they're taking him away from another solid team.
I mean, that's a good point, especially if he was going to go somewhere like the Clippers or another rival of theirs. Plus, I think like someone like Marcus Gasol truly isn't able to play that much, so him and Montrezl Harrell will be a good backup. I mean, also I'm sort of starting to see why Montrezl Harrell wasn't worth all that much in the open market because like I was thinking 6 million that's such a steal, but then it's 6 million is a steal or whatever they got him for, especially considering how good he was last year. But yeah, I mean, I'm sort of starting to see it. He wasn't that good.
I mean, for me, like I feel like he's still worth more than 6 mil, but at the same time, um, his his defense isn't like that great, and he's actually kind of undersized. He's like 6'7" or 6'8", which is extremely short. Like, and he's not Draymond Green. Like Draymond Green's one of the only people that can play good defense at the 6'8" type height against 7 footers because he's a lot smarter than other like people I guess on defense. So he knows like where to be at. when the ball is coming and things like that. And I don't think Montrezl Harrell like has that type of defensive IQ to um, be that good at defense at that level. And also like his offense is kind of based on other people feeding him the ball. It's not like he can't really create a shot
Um,
for himself
that,
that much. So
that's assuming that Andre Drummond is like a playmaker himself. He's not. So
yeah, yeah,
I mean, like the biggest thing is, I feel it's gonna be an improvement, and it's gonna be more of an improvement now because they need as much weapons and firepower as they can get because um, uh, they don't
their
have
stars are out.
Anthony Davis and LeBron, and I don't know how long they're going to be out. So you want to be able to win as many games as possible. So if even if he wins you an extra game, only an extra game in this 3 4 week stretch, that could be enough between being like a 6 seed or 10 seed or something, which obviously is a huge deal in the NBA right now with the playing games and all that. So um, we'll have to check that stuff out if it happens.
Yeah, I think the Jazz are also gonna hope that the Lakers slide into a second or third seed because imagine if the Lakers are like a fourth or fifth seed and then LeBron and AD come back and then the Jazz have to play LeBron and AD in the second round. That'd be like you would want to be the opposite of what the Lakers would be. So if the Lakers are a first or fourth seed, you want to be second or third seed because you don't want to face them into the conference finals. You know what I mean?
Do you think this would have put them over the top if they weren't? If you thought someone else was going to be, if you think someone else is going to win the Western Conference or even the title, do you think this put the Lakers over the top, or do you think the Lakers are already in that position and this just strengthens their case?
But yeah, honestly, like if LeBron and Anthony Davis are healthy, like even if the roster was like worse, it's like it's LeBron at the end of the day, and um, I feel like he could be any team. Like even if he didn't have like Dennis Schroeder, I mean, obviously he needs to have like a solid enough roster to go up against the other teams, but he's proved it in the past that he's able to win. Like on the 2017 Cavs team, he made it to the finals without like a solid like team around him, I guess, to the point where
2018, you mean?
yeah, 2017, 2018, that's that season. So
Yeah. I
um
mean, that doesn't. So what? He made the finals. He didn't win it. That's the ultimate goal.
I know,
So
but now they're actually yeah, now there's a Nets team, so but I
exactly,
feel
but
like at the same time,
he's still not the favorite. So
I don't know. I think everybody's just kind of overhyping the Nets a little bit because they picked up these big names, but Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge aren't like 2012 like Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, if you know what I mean. It's it's like 2021 right now, and I think if LeBron and Anthony Davis are healthy, the Lakers are should still at least be like considered
the
the
team to
favorite
beat.
or tied for the favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a valid point.
But James Harden's been playing like he's been playing like better basketball than I've seen in a while because he's playing a lot more efficient than he used to play, and he's feeding his teammates the ball like a little bit more than um I like more than I've seen in the past, I guess.
Um, that's a good point. What about the Magic? They sort of traded away all their like franchise cornerstones or whatever, or top players at the trade deadline. What do you think about the trades and where they would go in the future, and the teams that made the trades, like the Bulls or the Magic or the Nuggets and all that?
So well, Evan Fournier got traded to the Celtics, Aaron Gardner got traded to the Nuggets, and Vucevic got traded to the Bulls. And I think the Bulls for sure that was a really great move because um Wendell Carter was he's okay, but I didn't really see much potential in him. And Nikola Vucevic is a really great player, and he can take them over the top, especially if they want to contend for a playoff spot. And then for the Nuggets, I think it was another really great pickup because they lost Jeremy Grant in the offseason to the Pistons, and Aaron Gordon kind of fits that role that Jeremy Grant was in. And he's a really solid player as well. But then for the Celtics, I feel like their major problem is not their perimeter, it's their um big men and picking up Evan Fournier. I feel like that's not necessarily the solution because they're just adding more scoring to their perimeter, even though
If
they
they
already
go
have.
small, that has been proven to be the way to go in the future. So what if you get like Tatum or Brown to play bigger than they are and get you some more rebounds and stuff like that? Wouldn't that be a substitute? Plus, I mean, I can see the 76ers sort of tormenting them when it comes to that. But a team like the Nets can't do that. DeAndre Jordan isn't going to be the one who feasts off of your smaller roster. Embiid, yes, I agree. That'll be a huge problem for them. But otherwise, I don't see it.
I mean, do you even consider the Celtics contenders at this point? Because like the Bucks, the 70, I mean, Bucks, 76ers, and Nets, I feel like are three
They just
teams that
feel
are
better,
just,
especially. I mean, if this is the beginning of the year, considering where the Celtics were and how in the beginning of the year everyone else was taken by surprise by how much Brown had improved, I certainly would consider them contenders. But they've just been losing so much, and yes, I sort of want to hold out hope that this team has more what the than what is being led on by their record and how they're a team that's better than their record. But same goes for the Raptors. I think time sort of might be up for this team, and I think maybe in a few years, like a half decade or so, we could look back at the Celtics team after maybe Tatum or Brown reach their prime or towards the end of their prime and see if their championship window is closed. We could probably wonder whether or not they should have pulled the trigger and traded some of their assets and stuff like that.
I mean,
Because
yeah, like
I don't see them winning a title.
no, they failed on the Paul George sweepstakes back in a few years ago. They failed on the Anthony Davis sweepstakes. Like I think
I mean,
the
they didn't
Celtics have this
fail. I
problem.
think the Celtics always had so many assets that if they really wanted to, they could have put forth trades here and there, and the roster just seemed so loaded all the time. I just think they were reluctant to pull the trigger. They were thinking, oh, well, what if one of our guys turns into the next Anthony Davis or something, and then we also give up a huge haul on top of him or something like that. Like I think Jalen Brown was about to be flipped for Paul George, which I guess now with hindsight that would be fair because many people would say Brown is even better than Paul George at this point in time. But I don't know if back then that would have been the right move with Kyrie Irving and Hayward and all that. Maybe you should have had the
Yeah,
the the solid veteran who instead of the young guy who has the potential to become the solid veteran.
I think even though they've been having a really bad season, the East, like my opinion, the East only has like three teams that are like insanely good, and like they're actually only two games out of the fourth seed because the fourth seed is 24 and 22, which is the Hornets, and they're 23 and 25. So they can actually like push up to the fourth, but at the same time, like we said earlier, I don't really think they can compete with the Bucks, the 76ers, or the Nets because those teams just seem more superior to them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sort of.
And then for the Magic, I'm going back to them. I think it was a good move for them because I feel like every year they're kind of like in that spot where they're like the ninth seed or the 10th seed, but they never really get a good enough pick. They always get like the
No man's
ninth or
land,
10th
like the
pick.
middle zone,
Yeah.
where you're not
And
contending for proper like good picks where the guys you draft unless you hit home runs or find gems, which doesn't happen much, those new guys you bring in aren't going to be able to replace the guys who leave in free agency or the aging of your stars. And on top of that, it's not Los Angeles or Miami. It's not a great uh top free agent destination, so you won't be getting many players by way of free agency. And then you're also not competing. So what's all this worth? Why are you not intentionally losing to if all you're gonna do is get swept in the first round or something like that?
yeah, like if you think about going to Florida, you're gonna think about going to Miami. And then um also talking about the Miami Heat, they just brought in Victor Oladipo, and um I don't really know if that was that good of a move because you don't
I
have
don't
like
think
too
the
many
Heat
people.
are as good as people think they are. I think last year was based on what I'm seeing this year, I think last year was sort of an anomaly or an overachievement. And I think it's quite possible. And I mean, maybe that's because you have to put them against other Eastern Conference teams, and I'm mainly talking about the Nets, and you just stack them up, and you think, well, there's no comparison. The Nets are just way better. But I think maybe the Heat were sort of overhyped after last year.
I mean, yeah, I think the bubble helped them, and at the same time, um, this year I think I I don't know why, but I feel like teams have like just seem like better than them for some reason. I think maybe the 76ers really improved. The Bucks are still the Bucks. They haven't really got better, got worse necessarily. And the Nets just like got uninjured and they've came back and they've picked up Harden
And
and they're
that's
just
just look,
looking insanely strong.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Nets look good. The 76ers look a bit better, but quite frankly, I don't think Embiid will make much noise in the playoffs. I think they're if I had to be give a completely honest, yeah, completely honest thing, they're a second round exit. They're a second round exit, late second round exit, and then Daryl Morey will probably trade Simmons in the offseason for someone.
Yeah. Um I I kind of I kind of think the same way because I feel like I have to go against the Bucks. Like maybe Embiid and Giannis do cancel each other out, but for some reason I just feel like the Bucks can beat them in a series. Like
The
I feel like
Bucks
that'd be
like
a good matchup.
the Bucks like the proven commodity. Yes, they fall short in the playoffs every year, but they're also considered the top team or one of the top teams every year now for the last 3 4 years.
No, and I think that the Drew Holiday picked up. I don't know how much it would make an impact in the regular season, but if it makes a good impact in the postseason, that could take them over the 76ers. But at the same time, if the Nets are the other team that they go against in the conference finals,
Yeah,
unless
I
the
don't think
Nets
they
have an
can
injury, yeah,
technically compete with the
I
Nets,
think
but
that right
I
now
sort of
the Nets
exclude the
Lakers
Nets because the
finals.
Nets sort of seem like the clear-cut favorite to win the title, not only in the East. So maybe we should compare the 76ers and the Bucks and the Celtics and the Heat and all the other Eastern Conference teams to one another and sort of leave the Nets out of this for now.
Yeah, no, and if the Nets go against the Lakers, they actually have an advantage because the Lakers, like, if the Lakers start off the playoffs as like the fourth or fifth or sixth seed because of their injuries and stuff,
They'll have to like work up the
yeah,
playoff bracket and they won't have to.
they probably won't get sweeps because they have to go into like another town, another city for like the first two games. They might lose one of them, and
Yeah.
then it kind of just
Adds
works in
to
the Nets'
fatigue
favor.
and you have a 36-year-old leading the show. You probably don't want that happening.
I can actually see the Nets sweeping all the way to the conference finals because maybe the 76ers or Bucks might win like two games against the Nets, but I don't think any other teams can even win more than one. Like so the Nets can easily make it to the conference finals in a quick time and kind of have more rest than these other teams,
Yeah, I don't
which can,
see any team in the first round even taking a game.
yeah. It'd be kind of interesting right now because the Celtics are the eighth seed. So imagine the Celtics Nets
I think
first
yeah, the
round. That
Celtics could take a game or two, but quite frankly, I don't think they will. I think they can, but just given by the way they're
yeah
playing, if they're the eighth seed, odds are they'll play like the eighth seed because it's not like injuries or something where again like LeBron or AD go out or both of them go out, and your team is actually much better than what the record says because those two guys weren't there to bolster the record. But yeah, the Celtics have been healthy, so they've got no excuse.
yeah. Um and then uh the the Nets like they also I don't know if they're actually gonna get that much better with Kevin Durant coming in because he's gonna have to take some of the like James Harden's kind of like has a team to himself right now. Like even with Kyrie's been out for like half the games too. But when Kyrie and James Harden are playing, I think they've only lost like one game. They're like almost unbeatable. Like when both of them are playing, and their team is just so solid right now. Like because even if they don't have that good defense, their offense is just so talented. They win all these like close games. Like every single one of their games goes isn't they never blow anybody out, but they always win the close games because their offense is just
Well,
super
not even
talented.
close games. I think they're always winning games by like 10 points, 12 points, 9 points, stuff like that. Like solid wins. So where you don't have to like sweat at the end, and then you're also not being dominant in destroying teams.
Yeah, and I think they just got the first seed for the first time and like they finally took it away from the 76ers. and I don't think the 76ers are gonna get it back because with Embiid being out and they're just the worst team. I don't know. Like, I think the Nets are gonna hold on to it for the rest of the season. And yeah,
Yeah. Well then, that's about all for this episode of the Momentum Shift podcast. Make sure to catch us in the next one.